outstanding check of $90 to Telebyte. Hadn't cleared yet. But in January, we're going to have some expenses because the post office box rent is due for the year and the insurance is due in February.
Thank you
That's
very
my
much.
report.
Thank you very much. And from what I see, I don't believe she's booked any tickets to Hawaii, so I guess we're safe for a while.
Yeah,
Welcome,
but we
Bob.
might have to
Edwards,
give Doug
Doug
some money.
I'm going to select our speaker today. He's been a driving force for computing seniors for years. He's former president, and he's our editor, our financial guidance executive. And what else can I say? He's full of Microsoft in updates, and we're ready to have him come in today as our speaker. Welcome, Larry.
Good morning. I was saying, I think Doug needs to have a facelift over there. He doesn't look too good.
I know, I'm going to take this off so you can see him. Oh, he's not there.
Yeah.
Send it.
There he
Okay,
is.
good morning, everyone. I'm sort of like Doug. I actually have my nightshirt on, but I put a shirt and a hat over it so that you can makes it look like I'm dressed, and I'm really still in the middle of the morning. Also, there may be a phone call I'm getting, and you might hear me sing because today is my daughter's birthday, and she can't figure out how she can be 52 and I can be 29, but I try to explain that to her every so often. So I'm going to be sharing the screen here. Oh, something I want to mention is, you know, we have a lot of members in KCS right now. We've got 100 and some, I don't know the exact count, but very few of them are joining our meetings, probably because they don't trust Zoom. They don't know how to use Zoom or whatever. So if you've got a friend that's a KCS member, sort of encourage them to get involved with Zoom. Otherwise, we're going to start losing members, and we don't need to do that.
No.
Okay, I'm sharing screen, and I'm going to take over everything here. And I've got a lesson plan right up here. And this is a January 2022 lesson plan. I used it in my class that I taught last Wednesday. And I'm going to go over it. I'm going to add some to it. But if you would like a copy of this lesson plan, and it has all kinds of shortcuts to go to websites to learn all about Windows 11, excuse me, you could send an email to one of my email addresses, ladli5678@live.com, and I will send you a PDF copy of this lesson plan. Or if you have any specific questions of things you'd like to have in the future in my classes, please send an email and I will add them to the class. So ladli5678@live.com. I've got 8 different email addresses, so that's just one of them that I use for my class responses. Okay, Windows 11. How many people have Windows 11 right now? Anyone? I'm not seeing everybody, but
I can get it up there.
did you say you have Windows 11 now? Oh, okay. All right, well,
My computer came with Windows 10, and then a week or two after I had got it running, they asked me if I wanted to update, so I did that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, new computers now are coming, and I am going to talk about it, but I will give you my opinion right off. I have Windows 11 here. I got a new computer because my old one wouldn't accept an upgrade to Windows 11. My opinion before I start is, if you don't have it, don't rush out and get it yet. it's a good system. It works, but there's a lot of changes, and it's not adding the neat things that I thought a new operating system would add. It's got some neat things, and I'm going to discuss them, but I'm not sure I'm ready for, even if I would upgrade, and I could have in my old computer, I'm not sure I would have, but I do have Windows 11. As I go through these, I will show you examples on my computer of the various Windows 11 things that they have, quote, added. And I still have to drink my coffee because I'm not awake yet. I don't even get out of bed till 10, and you got me here talking. Okay, this first, all you got to do is on this PDF sheet, if you want it, I will send it to you. All you got to do when you get it is click on these different items here. So if you hold your control key down and click on the first one in red here, in blue, it says Windows 11 system requirements. And I'm going to make the screen adjustable so that hopefully everybody can see it. So I am going to discuss towards the end of this class the negatives that people are talking about Windows 11 and their disillusion of really, did we need a Windows 11? But they're saying Windows 11 is designed to bring you closer and so on and so forth, reliability, security, compatibility. This is the specific requirements that Microsoft has put out to run Windows 11 comfortably on your computer. By now, you should have had something in your Windows update that told you if your computer is capable of running Windows 11 or not. If not, there is a way of getting it here. But I know on my other computers, which was running 10, they were about 4 to 5 years old, and it says they weren't capable of running Windows 11. So processing units, you need 1 gigahertz or faster with at least 2 cores to run Windows 11. There is a list here that I'm not going to go through. There's all kinds of specifications, but you can run this test to say if you think your computer's capable of running Windows 11 or not. Most of it has to do with the speed of these items or how much of them you have. For example, RAM, random access memory, you need at least 4 gigabyte of RAM. And even that's probably still a little slow. You probably need more than that. You could get 6, 8. I have 16 on my new computer. So that's why it's very comfortable running Windows 11. Storage area, 64 gigabyte. Nowadays, almost all computers far exceed that, but a minimum of 64 gigabyte of storage on your hard drive in order to run Windows 11. This is an interesting one, system firmware. UEFI is called Unified Extendable Firmware Interface, a modern version of the BIOS and a secure boot capability. If your device does not meet these minimum requirements because it is not a secure boot capable, you may want to read this article. And again, I'm not going to go do it because I've got other things to cover. But again, you can do it if you ask for this copy of the PDF. A graphics card, DirectX 12 or later with a WDDM, which I'm not sure, it's a driver of 2.0. Display, high definition display. That is 9-inch diagonal, 8-bit per color channel, so on and so forth. Most systems right now, I think, would meet that. Internet connectivity and Microsoft accounts. They are requiring you to have a Microsoft account in order to upgrade to Windows 11. A lot of people have made their own non-Microsoft accounts. That works great. You can get into your computer and use it. But if you want Windows 11 to be put on your computer, you have to have a Microsoft account. And I have multiple ones. I have that live.com that I mentioned earlier. That's a Microsoft account. And I have two others that would also do that for me. Specific upgrade requirements for S mode. Well, we don't use S mode anyway, but they're saying the home version will do S mode. The Windows 10 Pro version will not. And again, I don't use S mode, so I'm not that familiar with it. Accessing upgrade eligibility. There is if you go to settings, update and security, and I'll do that right here. I have a shortcut to settings down here. Windows Update. And this is the new look of Windows 11, by the way, that you're seeing here. And I will be going through it more and more. Okay, I'm getting an update to my antivirus to double check that. Says my internet connection is unstable. Well, I don't know. But this is one place where you can go and get information. I'm going to be adding others here as we go along. The next one is getting ready for Windows 11 upgrade. This is another Microsoft site. Windows 11 is a new Windows experience and bring you closer to what you love. And my background, when you first put on Windows 11, is this whatever it is that they made. I don't care for that background, so I put my own backgrounds on. I'll give you an example here. I use Lightning as my background because I like a darker background. And I can see everything else easier if I got a darker background. So that's why I use the Lightning. And that one they're showing here is the one they put on when you get it down does not interest me at all. Decide which device you want to run Windows 11 on. Use your Microsoft account to transfer files and favorites. Back up your files, back up. Install Windows 11. And get familiar with the top productivity tools of Windows 11. Which device? There is a program, if you don't already know, you can download right here called Download PC Health Check. That program is just a quick download. You can run it, and it will tell you if your computer is capable of running Windows 11 or not. It is, well, you will see some negatives I got coming up about this, but quite a few people think that they've made the stringent Windows 11 because they want you to upgrade your computer. But if you're not capable, I'm going to say probably within the next 3 or 4 months, they might downgrade some of those possible things to allow more people to put Windows 11 on. But download PC Health Check. I'll click on that. I just wanted to notice I'm on this window here. If I click this directly, it's going to replace that tab I have at the top. So what I do is I right click and say open in a new tab. That way I can go back to the old window. Anyway, introducing Windows 11, and they got all this bring balance to your desktop, all these different things. And I'm going to be covering the Windows 11 stuff, but I just wanted to give you an example of how to get Windows 11, so on and so forth. Windows 11 specs, features, and computer requirements I've read already. Stay with your Microsoft account to transfer files and favorites. So they want you to get the Microsoft account so you can do the transfer and keep them handy. Back up your files, do that no matter what you do. Install Windows 11. And get familiar with the top productivity tools of Windows 11. And I'm going to be covering those in extreme detail here in a minute. Close that. I'm going to go to another. Windows Help and Learning Microsoft Support. So this is Microsoft website. And you can get there just by going to Microsoft Help and Support. And when you go there, it's going to say Windows 11 is here. Get the upgrade details, which we basically already covered. And then down here, they have a list, if I click on Windows 11, of some of the new items that they have added. And prepare for Windows 11, I'm going to click here. Frequently asked questions. What are the benefits of Windows 11 over Windows 10? Can I upgrade for free? If your computer is capable, yes, you can. That normally lasts, I think they give you about a year to upgrade for free. I don't have the specific date. What will Windows 11 be available for my Windows 10? Well, it's available right now because this is a little out of date. How will I know if my PC qualifies? Again, there's this download the PC health check. And I just went to here too. So it's the same place you went before, but you can download it and run it on your computer. You probably already have it if you've been doing your Microsoft Windows update on a regular basis. What are the minimum hardware requirements? What will happen to my files during the upgrade? Will Windows 11 work with my current accessories? How long does it take to upgrade? Normally it's fairly quick. It doesn't take that long. I have not experienced it because, like I say, when I bought this computer, it already had Windows 11 on it. Can I move back to 10? Well, you can, but you got 10 days to do it. If you upgrade to 11, you don't like it, you've got 10 days to back out and it will uninstall it for you. How do I get ready for Windows 11? There's a list of items here, and I will be covering more. What needs your attention? Again, all these will be covered. I'm just going through some of the frequently asked questions. So meet widgets. I'm going to introduce you to widgets here. That's a new item in Windows 11. Stay up to date with widgets. What are widgets? And here's an example of the widgets over here on the left. And I will show you mine. What data does Microsoft collect using the widgets board? Stay, sign in and out, show or hide widgets board. So instead of reading this, I'm going to show you what my widgets board looks like. I'm going to minimize this. So this is Windows 11 background. I've got my shortcuts here, but notice the icons down at the bottom are in the middle of the taskbar, not over the left. There is a setting that you can put it back to the left. I'm keeping it in the middle. I sort of like it there. But if I click on this third item over here, first is your start menu, then there's a search area, and then this is what's called widgets. So it's on your desktop. It's as soon as you get 11, you can click on it. And when you click on it, you can see all these different items. They're called widgets. You can get news. You can select which ones you want. You can move the ones out of the way that you don't want. One of them I've been using is the weather. So I've made a shortcut to this weather widget. So when I click it, it comes up on my browser and it says it's 42 degrees in Bremerton. Now, since I have friends that live in different places, I have a shortcut here to various. I got my good friends that live in Illinois because I'm from Illinois originally, and I can click on their weather. Gee, they're 28 degrees right now. I have others here. Topanga, California. That's where my niece lives. Jacksonville, Florida. So you can set up specific ones other than just your local location to see what the weather's like in these different places. So that's a widget, and this is the weather one, but there are many other widgets that you can organize. You can move them out of the way. You can do whatever you want, add widgets, remove widgets, but they're mainly news, they're information, best countries to retire in Washington or counties. 3 arrested in overnight shoplifting spree at drugstore. And it just goes on and on. As you scroll down, you just keep more. Labrador's adorable reaction to a puppy in box goes viral. So anyway, these are called widgets, and that's one of the new things that they've added in Windows 11. I don't think it's anything great. It's interesting. I've used it a little bit, but to me, it's not worth upgrading to Windows 11.4 necessarily. Yes, Jim. Yes, James. You're muted.
Okay. Yeah, I actually you're already introduced to widgets in Windows 10. If you look in the lower right-hand corner of your desktop of your taskbar in Windows 10, they kind of sneak that in one of the later builds of Windows 10. Now maybe they've expanded it more in 11, but you already have a version of widgets in Windows 10.
There is a version of well, I don't think they're called widgets as such, but yes, you can get very similar things in Windows 10 if you look around for them.
Well, it's in the lower right-hand corner of your taskbar. There is a
Right.
I forget what the icon looks like now, but if you click on it, you'll get that weather information and those other things will pop up on your screen.
That is true. A lot of it is in Windows 10, just located in different places. And they didn't call them widgets at the time. Any other questions? Are you staying awake there, Dennis, in Michigan? Of course, you're 2 hours later.
It's cold.
Okay, I'm going to go on to the next item down here. Snap your windows. That's another new item in Windows 11 that you did not have in Windows 10. I'm going to click here and open a new window. And it says snap your windows. And it goes on and talks about this, so on and so forth. But instead of reading it, let me click on Windows 11. I'm going to show it to you. So if I close this, well, actually, I want to open it. I got 2 different windows opened here. If I go up to the very top in the right-hand corner, you see the red X for closing. If you go to the very next square over, which is to either minimize or full screen your window, you will now see something totally different. It will allow you to reposition your open items with one click. For example, I've got 2 windows open. I'm going to click this one right here, and you can see it puts one on one side and puts one on another side over here.
Wow, that's totally cool.
They make them easier. Yeah, it's an interesting. I could do a 4 window. So I got one down here, and I could, here's my phone that I've got tied to my computer, which is something new I did. You could do it in the other one too. So you could have 4 different items open and split them up. But all you got to do is put your mouse up here on this option button, and you could have 2, you could have 1 big and 1 smaller, you could have 3, you could have 3 different positions, you could have 4, or again, you could have 3. So all you got to do is put your mouse up there on here, and here, I'll split it up into 3. And then anytime you want, you can just pull one of those down and it comes back out of the, oops.
Well, that's a very helpful tool.
It could very well be, yeah. If you've got multiple windows open, it is helpful.
I'm always messing around with like one document and updating it with another document, and resizing those documents sometimes is tricky. This is beautiful.
Yes,
That was-
yes. And like I say,
Yeah.
it's,
This
It's
is
on
worth the
every
price of
screen.
admission.
pardon?
This is worth the price of admission.
If you say so, I agree. It is different. It's unique. If you use it, I have a feeling that unless you have multiple windows open doing multiple things, and the only person I know of that does that on their computer, I think, is Myra, because she's 101 and she wants to look at 101 items on her computer. Uh,
You're joking, Larry.
I can't help it, Myra. I got to pick on you.
Larry, I thought she was 29.
No, that's me. My daughter's 52. I'm 29. Okay, I'm gonna go to here and upgrade to Windows 11 frequently asked questions. And again, like I said, I'm gonna scroll up to the top. If you want a copy of this, it's ladli5678@live.com. It's one of my emails. I will get it and I will send you a PDF copy of what I'm displaying here right now. So upgrade to Windows 11 frequently asked questions. What are the benefits of Windows 11? Can I upgrade for free? I covered most of these a little bit ago. Will Windows 11 work with your current accessories, so on and so forth? So that's just a bunch of questions that you can deal with. I'm going to close some of these windows now because I got too many open. And I'm going to go back down here to my lesson plan, and I'm going to click on Stay Up to Date with Widgets. And again, this is the same thing I showed you a minute ago. How to use widgets, what they are. And you can do most of that with Windows 10 just by, they just renamed it to make it interesting. Snap your windows. Again, I just went through that. This is where all you got to do is put your mouse up here on the right-hand corner and decide what layout you want, and it'll snap right to that layout, which is interesting. It's fun. And the last one is how to use your taskbar in Windows. So Windows 11 taskbar. This is what 10 looked like. You can move your bar to, it can be put to the left. Again, there is a choice to do that, but you can change colors, and I'm going to show you mine again. Close my phone out of the way here. So this is the taskbar down here. Some of the things I'm disliking about Windows 11 that I liked about 10 is if I go down here and I right click on the taskbar, I only get one choice. Before, you used to get multiple choices of what you could do. Right now, I have taskbar settings. And here's the different settings that you can have. Let me see. These are different things you can turn on and off. Taskbar behavior. Right now I have it centered. If you don't like it centered, you can click it and put it over to the left where Windows 10 had them all. So they just move to the left. I'm enjoying the centering, so I keep it centered. And that's a part of settings, and you can change those as you go along. And I'm going to go through some more settings down here and so on. But those are the main things that they seem to talk about: the taskbar and the settings, the windows changing to various places by snapping your window up here. Obviously, the start menu has changed, and I'm going to show you some of that here in a minute. It's very different. close some of these and. Okay. All the major changes. I'm going to click here. There's multiple things. I'm covering things multiple times, so people like Myra can really enjoy it because she hears it more than once. Sorry, Myra, I got to pick on you.
I don't know why I'm watching that because my computer won't take the 11.
The new centered taskbar. That's one of the things they're talking about here, which I just showed you. You, instead of being on the left, you can put it in the center. The shiny new widget panel, which pops up, which I've showed you. The how to use the snap layout in Windows. So all you got to do is put your mouse up here and choose which layout you want. And a departure in some ways and a familiar sight in others. Windows 11 has a lot going for it. The OS modern with clean aesthetics, a renewed touch, so on and so forth. Most of that is just bragging, I think. It's interesting, but it's not worth all those specific items. Again, I'm recommending don't rush to get Windows 11 unless you buy a new computer. There's plenty of time that you can upgrade to Windows 11, but there's this time period once you do that you have to learn how to use it. And, you know, I'm 29, I can pick it up quickly, but some of you are older than 29, so it might take longer. Here's another one. Windows 11 versus Windows 10. Windows 11 has officially been revealed, so on. So this is a difference in start menu, which I'm going to be showing you right now. I'm going to go down to my start menu and show you the difference. So here's the start menu in the lower left of the middle, not on the lower left of your screen. If I click on it, it's very, very different than the start menu you had before. This is how the start menu comes up. First of all, you can type at the top to search. Then you have these places where you can pin the apps you use the most. I use Word, I use Quicken, I update with file history. There's a to-do thing here that comes with Windows 11 they don't talk about very much. I play solitaire, so I can organize these with what I do the most. And not only do I have one screen, I could have multiple screens of different ones. Here's weather, here's clock, here's my camera. Choose which camera I want to use. Microsoft Office. I just, since I got Windows 11, I upgraded to the Office 365, which you pay yearly for instead of buying a version. And I'm getting used to that. It's a change, but I'm getting used to it. But if you want to see all apps, there's a little thing right here that you click. And when you click that, you will see an alphabetical list of everything you had, which is similar to what you had in the old Windows 10 on the left-hand side. So it's an alphabetical list of everything on your computer. What I do want to make note of, even on Windows 10, is associate these little down carrots here. If you click a down caret, it gives you choices underneath it. And there's multiple places where there's down carrots, even in Windows 10. But some people don't know what they are and they're not using them. For example, Windows ease of access. You click that and it shows you how to get to these various other items. Zoom, I can click that and it shows you how to uninstall it or start it. But if I go back, then it's this layout that comes up when I first open. Recommended down here are previous things you've done, and it sort of keeps a list of what you did recently today. So 55 minutes ago, I don't know what, I looked at Catterday pictures. I love Catterday, I can't help it. I will explain that in a minute. I opened my notebook. I opened my document, which I'm showing you right now and explaining Windows 11. And these are just recent things that you did. It sort of keeps track of them. But here's a choice. You can move them. For example, if I want to move Zoom over on the other side of Excel, all I gotta do is put my mouse on it and move it. You can move it up, down. You can add more to the thing down here. Here's my Windows widget that I mentioned a little bit ago, which I can, no thanks. So I can open it and see the Windows forecast. Let me move this down a little bit. Center the taskbar again, brand new start menu, the shiny new widgets, the Snap layout, how to use Snap. Windows 11 comes with Android app support. That's one they don't mention very often, but you can go to the Android store if you have an Android phone and download anything from the Android store onto your computer and use it. The main thing I did was I tied my phone to my computer. So if I click down here, here's my Galaxy phone, which is I got for Christmas, 65% charged. It gives me notifications, messages. I can move my photos from my phone right directly over on my computer. Here's apps, and here's recent phone calls I got. So I can actually do that through my computer. I never tried it with Windows 10. I'm sure there's parts of it you could use with Windows 10, but it made it very easy on Windows 11.
I tried to do it. I tried to do the synchronizing my phone, and it won't synchronize. Mine's an Apple iPhone, and it won't seem to work with this one.
Yeah, they specifically said Android, and I don't know why they didn't mention Apple specifically, and I don't have an Apple, so I don't know the ins and outs of it. So it comes with Android support, a departure in some ways and a familiar sight in others. Windows 11 has a lot going on. The OS looks modern with a clean, and I read that a little bit ago, aesthetic look, so on and so forth. I got a couple more to cover here because I'm going to start hitting the negatives now. Well, no, here's still another guide talking about the same things. It's each one of these is talking about the 10 versus 11, the new look, so on and so forth. There's not much. I've covered it already. And here's the new and improved Windows 11 versus Windows 10, new and improved operating system. Again, I personally, if I had Windows 10 and I didn't have to teach you old folks, and I knew more about Windows 11, I wouldn't have been in a hurry to upgrade necessarily. If you get a new computer, it's probably going to be coming with Windows 11. There is a learning curve. That's okay. But let's talk about the negatives now. I got 3 different websites that talk about the negatives. 8 harsh realities to being a Windows 11 user. Everything you need to know about Windows 11. Changing your default browser is like a bad game of whack-a-mole. And you can use the other ones, but it's hard to use the other ones like Chrome and get them hooked up correctly. You can, it will happen. It's just harder. So they're calling it a whack-a-mole game. If you want to revert Windows 11 upgrade, you have 10 days to do it. So once you upgrade, if you want to go back to 10, you have 10 days to do it. That's not a long time. Windows 11 Home won't let you use local account for an initial setup. In other words, you have to have a Microsoft account. So most people do, I'm sure. I know my wife has one, but she uses the AOL most of the time and does very little with her actual Microsoft account. Open file location doesn't. Let me show you a couple of examples here of what that's talking about. If I, in the Windows 10, if I right click, I get a menu of all kinds of choices. So if I right click here, I have some options. I can change the view, I can short, I can refresh, but then they keep adding this show more options to get to some of the things that I would use otherwise. Display settings, personalization, so on. So not only do I have to right click, well, not more than once, but some of these are hidden down below. You have to right click twice. On a folder, a document, if I right click, up here at the top, it has some shortcuts: copy, rename, share, and they've got a lot of share things. They want you to share with people, and delete. So I can open it with, I can compress it, but then to see more options, there's another choice down here. You click, and then you see all these other options. I don't like that double click because I use a lot of these. So I have to do 2 clicks instead of 1. So that's, to me, one of the negatives of Windows 11. Sure, you'll get used to it over time. You just have to loosen your fingers up and, exercise them and do more clicks. Oh, let me go back here. The next negative, control panel inconsistencies is a disgrace. What they're talking about here is the old control panel, which you can still have it in Windows 11. It sort of looks like this, but now they're going towards this other control panel, which is settings, and you click here, and this is what you get initially for your control panel. You have system, you can change display, sound. You have Bluetooth devices you can add or remove. I use a Bluetooth mouse. I like that because it saves me a port on my USB. Plus, my new computer comes with a different type. It doesn't have a regular USB connection. It's got a USB 3 connection, which is a different format of plugs. So you have to buy a new device to use that. Devices, printers, your phone, cameras, mouse, so on. And here's a network. Here's personalize. You can go down, you can personalize your different theme settings. Again, I like this darker background. So instead of using the one that came with Windows 11, I use this lightning one, which changes every so often and gives me a dark background, but it's interesting. This is a list of your apps and features, default apps. What they're saying is sometimes it's hard to change default apps in Windows 11. Here's your account information, sign in, time and language, gaming. They're pushing Windows 11 as a gamer computer. You'll see the advertisements on TV as all these gamers are getting into it. And it probably is to an extent, but with the type games I play, I could do them on Windows 5, I suppose. Accessibility, text size, you can change the size of your mouse cursor. Privacy and security, Windows security. Again, I use the Microsoft one, that Windows Defender that comes with Windows 10 or 11. I'm happy with that. One of these negatives, they say, is that you have to get a new one. Well, and here's Windows Update. So if I want to do a Windows Update, I click on the icon. I come down here to Windows Update, and I click check for updates. And I do that on a regular basis. I like to keep my computer up to date. And so this is the new, what they're going to be replacing in the old version of what they had. And this is still there, but it seems to be, they seem to be wiping it away. And I'm used to it. I liked it. All right, let me get back here. Nope, this one. Truncated context menu cuts off access to needed capabilities. In other words, when you open something, sometimes the menus of choices are cut off, and it's harder to do the things you did in the past. At least I did. Not everybody uses that to their best capability. The search bar is gone. Well, it's not really gone. It's still there. So if I want to search something, here's a search, and it shows me some of the things I searched recently. But if I click, here's where you type to search. It's similar to the other one, but it's different also because you don't have the bar that used to be there. You can't change that to a bar. And I like the bar because I can just put my mouse there and start typing. The whole hardware capability kerfuffle, if I can say it. I don't want to swear, but they think that the requirements to upgrade are extreme, and probably in the future you'll be able to upgrade even if you have 10, and right now it's telling you you can't. I don't know about that. I can't foresee the future of that, but they're saying they've made this stringent hardware requirements because they want you to upgrade to new computers. What about you? So what about you? Have you upgraded to Windows 11? Do you have a plan? Do you find these harsh realities daunting, or do you plan to power through them? Do you have other harsh realities you'd like to share? And so you could share. But I've got one more negative coming up here, so don't run away yet. This is another one. The 10 worst things about Windows 11. I never found these under Windows 10, but they're coming out like crazy on Windows 11. And this is from PC Magazine. It says Windows 11 hardware requirements are too high or harsh. I agree with that. They want you to upgrade your computer. So not all computers are capable of installing Windows 11. Changing default apps on Windows 11 is too hard. I mentioned that. If you want to change which app opens when you do this or that, it's harder. You have to sign into a Microsoft account to use Windows 11. Another, yeah, well, Windows 11 start menu is less usable than Windows 10. I can concur with that. You can get used to it. It takes time. You have to readjust. You have to move your things around. But I do like, I'm getting used to the start menu, which is this, and I can go to all apps, or I can go back and I readjust these, and I've got more than one screen full. You could have multiple screen fulls to get to very quickly. But it's different. It takes a little bit of getting used to. Windows 11 taskbar is less helpful than Windows 10. There are items that were in the taskbar. For example, right-clicking on the taskbar, you used to have a bunch of choices. Now you just have taskbar settings. I preferred it the other way. Windows 11 forces you to use the Edge browser. Yes, they make it harder to use a different web browser. You can use Chrome, you can use the others. It's just a little harder to get it to switch because they want you to use theirs. And I'm not saying theirs is bad. I am using it regularly now. It's a pretty good browser. And they're saying it's pretty safe. But again, you should have a choice, and it should be easier than they're offering. Windows 11 ditches the Action Center, and its replacement stinks. Pretty straightforward there. That's the Action Center again here. I don't think it's that bad, but you click here and you've got all these different choices. I'm getting used to it, but they show the old Action Center here. Now they've got a new one over here. If you click on the right-hand corner, you see your dates, and there is a notification area over here. but it takes some getting used to. Windows 11 is a step backwards for tablets. I'm not using it on a tablet, but they're saying if you use Windows 11 on a tablet computer, it's a step backwards. I was happy using my Surface Go solely as a touch tablet under Windows 10. I never even brought a keyboard with it, but now when you go to 11, it's harder to get to some of the functions like keyboards and so on. You still need third-party antivirus with Windows 11. I personally disagree with that. I'm happy with Windows Defender. I think it works very well, but then I don't put myself out there to be hacked either. I don't go to websites that are dangerous and stuff like that. I still use my Web of Trust program here, which tells me when I go to a website, and I use the free one, I don't pay for it, but it tells me if a website is bad. Windows 11 is not innovative. This is one of the more, I can't even say the word, philosophical problems. Yes, I said it. I have with a new operating system, even though Windows 8 revealed and did major damage to the operating system reputation, it at least introduced bold changes to Windows. Again, I went through most of the changes. None of them are earth-shattering. So again, if you don't go out and buy a new computer, which I don't know if you're ready to, but it will probably start coming with Windows 11 anytime. But I would hold off upgrading if I was you at this point. It's still an excellent operating system. Despite these reservations, there's a lot to love in Windows 11. The lovely new rounded Windows corners. I don't know if you noticed, but the corners on my windows here are now rounded. They're not square like in Windows 10. So, wow, you know. The fluent and translucent design touches, snap layout, widgets, Android app capability, focus sessions, clock app, you have a clock app, and the gaming improvement. So there's a lot to like about Windows 11, but again, it's a change. I'm not telling you not to upgrade. Find out if your computer can, and if you do, play with it, and you got 10 days to downgrade, if that's your choice. But make sure you back up your computer. And I've got a couple others here. I'm boring you. I'm not going to go through them. At the bottom of here, in my class, I talked about scams and frauds. So there's other new things. So if you want a copy of this lesson plan, send me an email at ladli5678@live.com, and I will send you a PDF copy of this. That's pretty much it. I'm going to stop sharing so I can see your beautiful faces. Wow, look at that, 18 people. Wow. Doug, you are the cutest though. Yes, Al.
So do you know if there's a free trial version for people to use to try Windows 11, or do they just have to jump in and get it?
Well, you've got 10 days to go backwards, so I guess I would call that the pre-trial.
Right, okay.
But yeah, there are choices, and get to know it first. Spend some time, look around, search on the internet for Windows 11, and look to see if it's worthwhile for you to make the change and decide if that's what you want to do. Okay, if there's nothing else.
Oh, we got Doug. Got Doug up here.
Oh,
Doug, got a
Doug.
question?
Hey, Larry, I do the KCS website all in Chrome. So yes, I use Edge here, but for the website, for the newsletter, after you give it to me, and everything is done in Chrome, and we have Google Drive where we put everything in.
Right.
So how do I have to put Google Chrome on my taskbar in Windows 11 to make it work properly?
Okay, let me share one time real quick here, because I've done that. I do, down at the bottom of my taskbar, I have Google Chrome. You can put it on. It's just a little harder to do. You have to follow a few other directions, so on, but it still works. I brought it over when I upgraded. Well, I didn't upgrade. I brought Windows 11 and I had it before, so it stayed there. And I still use it. It's just what they're saying is it's harder to get there than it was before.
Okay.
And they're trying to force you to use their browser, I guess. I don't know. Microsoft's trying to control everybody.
Yes. Okay. On your other computer that you bought, how did you put Chrome on that one then? Did you download it?
I did. I downloaded it. It just takes a few extra steps is what they're saying. They're saying, yeah, it makes it harder, but if you know a little bit about computers, it's not going to be that hard.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Yes, Jim.
Yeah, after seeing your presentation, I think I'm going to be relieved that I'm probably not going to be involved with New Horizons by the time everybody's forced to go to Windows 11. Here's a couple of major impacts on the New Horizons program. Number one, I know for a fact I don't have a single donation out there that will run Windows 11. The big deal there is the TPM version 2. You'll find that most of your older computers have version 1 on it. Won't work on Windows 11. The QEFI with secure boot. Secure QEFI came along, and then secure boot followed after that. So a lot of your older machines will have the QEFI capability on them, but are not capable of secure boot. So TPM version 2, QEFI, secure boot, you must absolutely have to have that, or your computer will not run Windows 11. Okay. So that's one impact. The other impact that's going to really screw us up is the fact that you're required to have a Microsoft account before you can even install Windows 11, or in order to install Windows 11. That's not going to work really with us either, because how are you going to do that? I always pre-install the operating system when I get a donation in. Wipe the hard drive out, install Windows 10 Pro on it. Fine. Always set up as a local account because I have no idea who's going to actually end up with that machine. So that could be a real problem. I'm just thinking probably, and I've got about 3 or 4 years to go. So before Windows 11 is going to be mandatory. Probably the best thing for our program is to remain with Windows 10 and use a third-party security program. Once Windows Defender updates go away and then no longer supported, in order to keep the operating system safe, I'll probably just use a third-party program, third-party antivirus, and stay with Windows 10. Maybe a lot of people will go that route too.
Thank you for your input, Jim.
Any other questions before we wrap it up here? He has given us a link for you to communicate with him and get this information out, and you can start working through it. By the way, Larry, my daughter just turned 61. That means I'm younger than you, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Let's give Larry a big hand for the beautiful, wonderful information. You bet. I think he's an encyclopedia of Microsoft, and they ought to be paying him for all of this. Yeah, we'll send a letter out. How's that? We're going to have a short break, and then we'll have the trustees meeting. So about 5 minutes, I'm going to stay online here. I'm willing to take a run here, and everybody is welcome to come on in. I want to acknowledge the fact that we got Pat in here today, and BJ made it. And Ruth, we're glad to see you again. And Roger, glad to see you. And Al, you're hanging in there. We'll talk to you later. Bob, I hope you warm up there in Michigan. And Carolyn, I hope you hang in there for the trustees meeting. Doug, we sure appreciate you. You're looking great today. Oh, and there we are. Yeah, Jim, host, welcome. Are you going to be with us today for the trustees? We'd like to
certainly
have you for a short time if you can. Okay, so that concludes the general membership meeting today, and hang loose about 5 minutes. You're all welcome to join us on the trustees meeting, and have a good day and Happy New Year to those folks we haven't talked to you. All right. Back in 5.
How are you, Dennis? How
I'm
are
doing
you?
fine. I'm doing fine. Whoop. Got me
What
muted.
is what is the temperature back there?
Right now it's 27. Feels like 12.
Oh, whoa, we had that a while back.
And we're supposed to have a big storm coming in and we got high winds. Oh, the
Oh,
winds are, well, feels like 19 right now.
how about keeping it back there?
Okay. I don't mind it.
Rub your magic ball.
No, I tell you, we got a beautiful Lake Michigan, half-mile from my house. It's beautiful.
Oh, wow.
Big waves, high winds, sand dunes, all kinds of deer. In fact, it's not even snowing yet. It's supposed to snow today.
Is your wife still working?
No, she retired two years ago now, 3 years ago. She finally decided.
Excellent.
She started at the hospital and started the speech clinic at the local hospital, and she got that up and running. Then she turned on to 65. She retired. It's been 4 years now.
Very good. Well, you guys are just spring chickens then.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm pretty active out here. I got a lot of things to do.
It's sure good to see you back with us.
Well, it's kind of fun. You know, I'm trying to work with a senior center here in town, in the local college to see if I get something started there.
Excellent.
So I got a little bit more interested. When I first moved here in 2013, I didn't have any interest at all. By now I got 6 people that don't want to come on board. I might have them join KCS as a proxy member.
Good.
That way I don't have to come up with all the programs. I can let Larry do the teaching. I just can't believe we can't get more people online, that's all.
Right.
You have any recommendations?
Well, kind of far-fetched, but I got a couple of ideas.
Yeah, well, send them to me or, we'll, let's see, we'll record it.
Yeah, I thought we could go, make a list of the membership and then one-on-one, give them a call and see what their thoughts are about being more active. I'm doing it the political way, you know, I believe in phone calls and the word of mouth.
Yeah.
We've done that a couple of times, but our response has been pretty minimum.
You know, maybe make up a list of, say, 5 basic questions and send, one-on-one, talk to the member and have go over, just get their general feel. And if they don't
Yep,
want to bother, fine, you know?
That's what we did. I guess I could feed them.
Communication is very difficult. We've been working on that nominating committee and others. We're finding out that some people, well, the virus, the pandemic, the virus thing has been a big thing. A lot of people are just not online even. They don't even address the newsletter. It's difficult. I guess what I want to say is that if they need help, then they're communicating with us. If they don't need help with what's necessary in their life, then we don't hear from them.
For several
That's
people.
probably everybody out there. Anybody have any comments on that? Since we're talking about that, it's a good subject, really, because as you can see, we have a limited number. We got 108 on our list, and of course, we've had some difficulty in getting the show on the road because of the link. But I think we did quite well today, and thanks to Carol for that. I really appreciate that. She spent considerable time and got us over the hump, and I think everything worked quite well today.
Does most 108, do you have emails available?
Yes,
El's commenting on that. Yeah.
Okay.
yes. There were several people in my phone calls from the nominating committee calls that said they didn't even know how to do Zoom or get into Zoom. So what I did was I directed them to Mary Ann's Thursday computer basics class, and hopefully they take the initiative to take part in that. But even, having said that, they still need to take the initiative. And some people are just, I don't know, how do I say it? Maybe intimidated by doing something new. I think there's the fear of failure. If you push the wrong button, you're going to get ejected out of your computer chair, something like that. But if somebody can sit down with them, next to them personally, physically, and say, here's how we do it, sometimes that'll get them started enough. But we just can't do that with the minimum or no contact.
Okay,
But
what
those are
about,
great, great
one
suggestions, Dennis.
yeah, excuse me, what about a one-on-one on a Zoom? You know, I could take, say, like 4 or 5 people, call them a week and just sit down one-on-one on the computer and talk to them. And my wife agreed to work with me. She could be on the other end, showing an example of what to do, then walk them through it. More of a private tutor.
That's not a bad idea. I think that would be something we could try. We haven't really tried a one-on-one Zoom. So for goodness sakes, you know, maybe we're the intimidated ones because we don't try something like that. I think what happens with us as board members that keep trying and trying to get people involved is we start experiencing, and I'm sorry for saying this, a burnout and a negative idea about what the outcome's going to be. But I'm willing to try, you know, calling or emailing people or talking to them one-on-one. But I'd like to share that responsibility with several people, you know, and I think if we could get like, I don't know, 8 to 10 people to call 8 to 10 people, that would really share the load. And then we could get a consensus of people that were interested in doing a meeting. And then we could go from there and schedule, you know, these one-on-one Zooms, how to Zoom meetings.
Can
How's
I
that?
interrupt? Are we actually in the trustees meeting, Ed? Or is this just conversation?
It's a
Basically,
subject that I think is important, just to go ahead. That's our number one item today, to sort of, I appreciate all the way from Michigan, and we can use help from any direction. I appreciate this subject. We can go on and on with this, but what I want to do is first say thanks to Dennis for some suggestions, and Al, what I'm seeing here is that we have Jim Host also here, and he's been willing to help you and others, and also with the New Horizons. Whenever a person has any time to be on with that host, there you are, Jim. You go by James or Jim, either way.
James is fine, thank
Okay.
you.
Okay, James. Then here's a suggestion, and then we'll wrap it up and go to the next subject, because we can go through this on a more of a committee basis. My suggestion here, in listening to everything that Dennis has to offer, maybe a short article in the newsletter this time around to Larry. Anyone interested in a short introduction to a Zoom program, please email Al or whoever, and then he can get back to you and set up a time that's convenient, and we'll get people involved in that way. That way we're eliminating, not eliminating, but we're sorting out the people that are really interested in wanting to be more knowledgeable of the Zoom process and learn more about their computer. And we got a lot of good information today from Larry, and we can also get them moving toward other programs that are offered by Larry and by Marianne. What do you think about that, Al?
well, it's making more sense to try to improve the vehicle that we are able to send our meetings and communicate our meetings from. And that vehicle, of course, is Zoom. We are all holding in great hopes for physical meetings, but we need to improve that outreach for Zoom. So I think that's, you know, a pretty good idea. I may not be one that would be able to teach Zoom, but I certainly would be able to be one of those that would call and contact my share of members to get their feeling on if they need help. And matter of fact, I can speak to BJ's comments in our emails that BJ had some pretty decent conversation with people when she was talking about them with the nominating committee. And she had several people that had questions about computers. So learning from BJ's conversations that she stated, you know, there's a real need for one, computer help and Zoom help. And if we get the Zoom help to them, at least we have that foundation for them to learn from. And we can still get, you know, we can still get our mission out there of making people aware and educating people aware of about computers. And I think that's going to be very akin to our next outreach mission.
I would see one problem with, I love the one-on-one. I think that's a great idea. So envisioning that, are we talking about talking with them on the phone in order to, they've got, evidently don't even have Zoom downloaded, don't know how to get it downloaded. So how do we do that virtually, one-on-one, to get them? I would be willing to help someone, but I need a schematic, a plan on how do we do that with somebody.
Bob Edwards, go ahead.
Yeah, listening to this, it's reminding me of something I heard Saturday night where an amateur radio club, Mike and Key, with 140 members since the pandemic has started, and everybody's been forced to Zoom, they picked up 60 new members, which is kind of counter to a lot of other organizations, while only 3% of an organization run it. I would like to suggest to follow up on Lorraine's idea and kind of support it a little bit more. Yeah, something like a Zoom coordinator, which is connected to a phone number, like establish a way or an email address that anybody, anytime can leave an email and say, hey, I got a Zoom problem, or can you help me with this? And then it would be the focal point to dispatch one of us to give them a call, talk to them on email or whatever, to try to show that we're ramping up and we're serious about it. Something along those lines. Go with the title.
I had a hard time understanding.
Yes, I did too.
Microphone. So if somebody can recap what they heard.
I can't. I'm not sure exactly what Bob was saying. It was very worthwhile.
I've got mine off.
Can you turn your volume down?
I've got mine turned off completely.
Okay. Is this
Bob,
any better?
I would suggest that you drop an email to me or Al, either one, and give that information. I got a lot of it, but we'll try to sort that out. I'm pretty much on the base with what you were suggesting, and a coordinator for the Zoom I think is a good idea, and you can sort of sort people out that way, because it's then going to one person and then yes, there's a need, I'd like to do this. I think that's pretty much what he was coming up with. Is that
Okay.
right? Yeah. Okay. Yes.
It sounds like it.
Dennis in the corner.
Yeah, Al, could you send me a list of the trustees? So if I come up with some idea, I could send a groupie to you guys.
Ed has that that whole list.
I'll send it to you.
I appreciate that,
Oh,
because I'm
absolutely.
working, like I said, my wife is very good at teaching. And if we could come up with a program where she could be online and I could be online with the KCS, we could demonstrate back and forth, and you could watch the two of us react and then feel confident to work with us. So that's something I thought we could probably do together.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right.
I need to.
One more, Jim Bromley.
Yeah, the problem here is getting people to use.
We're in Edgewise. And I can't seem to get in Edgewise.
Initially, you've got to get people
I was about to make a comment, but
Okay,
maybe
go
we
ahead.
maybe we should start taking numbers so everybody can talk. But I would like to say that, Al's right about contacting people. We do need to get away, and that's what we're talking about. But it's strange when I was calling people and talked to them. They were very nice. Everybody just listened, and we just talked to each other. But I found that the women on my list seem to have lost contact with us. They don't know how to even get to our general meetings via internet, via Zoom. Maybe their a system isn't working at home, and that is something I also found out. They also need help with the Zoom and computers.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Thank you.
I look, Lorraine, go ahead.
So, BJ, did you actually hear that they need newer computers, that maybe they can't afford them and they should be part of our New Horizons getting them
No,
up to date?
No, neither. The message I got was that they don't know how to really use their computers they already have, and the other thing is they don't know how to sign on to Zoom. Anyway, so
Alrighty. Let's move on. And Jim Bromley, where are you? Have him give us.
He may have stepped away.
Let's see. Doug, do you have anything that you'd like to offer at this point?
Not at this time.
Okay. All right.
Thanks, Popeye.
Okay, I've got the next one that I have for the agenda is the PayPal, and I'd like Carol and Al to give us a little information on that. Either one go forward. There we have some questions on that and how to improve it. Go ahead, Al or Carol.
Well, my main comment on PayPal is that we at our last board meeting we voted to raise the cost of paying by PayPal from $21 to $22 because their PayPal's rates has changed, and I sent out notices and I let people know that that had taken effect, and I still got $21 payment. Now that has not happened radically, but I thought we should just emphasize that again, and to our membership, and I'll continue in my reminders to members, but I thought we should bring that up again at our meeting, and that's basically what I have on it. I'll defer to Carol because she's much smarter and younger than I am.
Carol? Yeah.
Well, our webpage, when you pay the dues through PayPal, it's a set amount and you can't change it. I found that to be true. You can go in and make a donation and put any amount you want to in, but when you go into the dues paying part, it's set at $21 unless we set it at 22.
Carol, we had emails between you and Al, I believe it was. Do you have the password for PayPal? If you have the password for it, because Laura, I think Laura, yeah, she come back and says she don't have the password for it. If you have the password for it, I'm not positive, but I should be able to go in and take a better look at it than I can right now.
Oh,
But
okay.
don't give the password out here.
Oh, no, but I'm pretty sure I have the password.
Okay, in that last email, I was waiting for your password. so that I can go in and take a look at it.
Okay, I did not get an email asking me for the password.
No, the last email from you a couple of weeks ago said that you had to do something things for Christmas and stuff.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then you would get the password to me or Al after that was taken care of. And I never
was
received
gonna-
the email after that.
Yeah, I was gonna try and get a hold of, what's her name?
Mary Ann,
No, the
Laura.
lady that was president and set it up, and it's got her phone number on it.
Cheryl
Cheryl
Smith.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And I haven't, but I talked to Mary Ann recently, and, she gave me a phone number. She said there is a phone number where we can call and talk to a real person.
Okay.
Well, if that's the case, then we should get a new password issued
Yes.
to us.
Yeah,
Yes.
but we can't change the password or anything unless we use Cheryl's phone number. Yes, Pat.
Well, I just want to mention, if you can't find the password, I have it.
Oh, okay. No, I have
I
it.
could-
I'm pretty sure.
I could send it to Doug. Okay,
Okay, is that all we need to cover right now on that? If no, I want to drop back to number one with
Well-
James Bromley. Oh, Pat, go ahead.
yeah, well, that might be a good idea, whoever offered, suggested changing the password. Because if extra people like me still have it, it should be a password that only the treasurer can access. And it just kind of kept going on from me to Carol when she took over. So that might be a good suggestion to change it.
Okay, thank
Well,
you.
I think at least two people should have it. One, the treasurer, and then a backup.
The recommendation, it would be the secretary as well as the treasurer
Hey,
at
Ed,
this point. Yeah.
hey, I'm
Okay.
looking at the news thing. And it's very confusing. It says, please add $2 if donating with PayPal. It should say add $2 when paying membership. It's a little confusing what that note means.
Did you understand that one, Carol?
Where are
Al,
you
did
looking
you
at that ad? Dennis, where are you looking at that? I'm sorry.
It's on the newsletter and that thing on the
The
top
newsletter?
there.
Okay,
And it says a suggested donation of $5, $10, or $15. Then it says, please add $2 if donating with PayPal. It doesn't say paying membership.
That's because
Okay.
it's two different programs there. And you can put in any amount you want in the donations. But with the dues, it's a set amount. People can't, like a married couple, they have problems if they have to go in twice to put each one of their names in, because they're not allowed to pay a double amount, the $40, $41, $42.
Okay, I wasn't aware that the membership was a separate entity.
Yes.
Okay.
Carolyn Fraser?
When you're using the PayPal, just make note that if you're using PayPal, it's an additional $2 for each time you use PayPal.
Yeah, I agree with
Right,
Dennis and
suggestion.
Carolyn. This is confusing in here in this newsletter.
Got it.
My suggestion to Al, revise the item in the newsletter, clarify it, maybe. How's
For
that?
Larry, make it very specific for Larry.
Okay. All right, let's move on to James Bromley. Update on the New Horizons program. I know that you've been wanting to solicit, or you're soliciting for someone to do some interviewing. For anybody that might be interested in a laptop or a computer or a company, if you have, say, a sheet that you've used in the past with specific questions, that might be a start. And then we would then look for volunteers to do that. I, for one, would be glad to support you. But you want to bring us up to date right now and where we are?
I don't really have that much new to bring up. I've got a very strong inventory of machines right now. I've just been concentrating on trying to work with some nonprofits rather than individual clients due to their pandemic restrictions. It's easier to work with a nonprofit who has clients that are already vetted, and I don't have to worry about doing that. Also, since I'm coming off the board in March, and that chairmanship of New Horizons is a board position now, I technically would no longer be chairman of New Horizons once I come off the board. That's my understanding. So I'm going to try to find somebody to take my place. I would still like to do the refurbishings or assist with refurbishings. But once I come off the board, I don't plan on actually running the program any longer.
I know you're going to go off the board in March. However, I think I speak for the trustees that either have you, we would appreciate your attendance to the trustees meetings periodically to give us an update, or an alternate if you're busy. Maybe an alternate, maybe James could be your alternate representative. I heard by the someone said that you wouldn't mind being a trustee and accept nomination as a trustee, James.
I will.
And so I'm sort of looking at this as a possibility, since you have offered to assist Jim Bromley on the New Horizons program. Maybe we might slip in here and as a trustee, if you would also represent the New Horizons as a chairman at this point. I'm making it easier for you because you're going to be working together, and give Jim Bromley a break because he needs one.
Sounds good. I suppose, Jim, we should synchronize maybe after this meeting at some point and run down how I can help.
There you go, and work with him and communicate with us on how the trustees can assist, or reach out to membership to assist in the New Horizons program.
Hey, James, I'm sending you a chat right now. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, James.
With regard to New Horizons, Kitsap Rescue Mission, I talked to the board president and she was interested, but she would like some documentation from the New Horizons, your form, whatever, be sent to the Kitsap Rescue Mission new president, who is not president, the executive director of the Kitsap Rescue Mission.
Shouldn't that all be on our website? Couldn't you direct them to the website and go to the New Horizons page?
Okay, so, but I'm saying that a letter to the executive director saying that we have this program, who would be responsible for that? We have this program, and would you be interested?
Yeah, yeah, I worked with Kitsap Rescue Mission in the past, and I do have a contact there who used to be the executive director. And
Nancy has left now, and there's a new one.
Yeah, Nancy was the one that I worked with.
Right. Because they're going to be going into that new building, they're not there yet because it's not ready, but over in Port Orchard.
Right.
The president of the board who is in my study group, she said, yes, they would very definitely be interested in 2 or maybe even 3 to help out their people. Right now, they're in temporary quarters at this motel on Kitsap Way. That's where they're living. All the residents are living there until the building is refurbished and ready for occupancy.
Yeah, okay, well, I'll get that contact going. I know who to contact.
Okay.
Nancy Osteen is my contact.
Yeah, but she's gone now.
Oh, she's not even with,
No, she's retired.
oh, she has. Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
Can you,
I can email you with the current person and so forth.
yeah, why don't you do that? KCS New Horizons at gmail.com.
Say that again?
KCS New Horizons at gmail.com.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you very much, Lorraine. And Jim, if you need any help, I'm in Port Orchard. I'll be glad to make any contact you need. Okay. Carolyn, did you have any comment here? Carolyn Fraser. I've tried to keep track of people. wanting
No,
to make any- Okay, just raise your hand, put your hand up on your window there, and I'll keep you involved here. So thank you very much for New Horizons, and I think we got a good plan for the future, and we'll keep it going.
We have to keep in mind, Ed, one thing we have to keep in mind, Dennis Manick has offered to help out with New Horizons in accepting some things and coordinating.
Yes,
So
I see him on screen here. Dennis, there you are. You were going to help on the New Horizons.
I'd be willing to pitch in and do what I can.
Okay, so you'll know you have that information. And James, by the way, getting back to the nomination, we'll have that nomination presentation to the membership at the March meeting. That's when you officially go into your new role. You got a little break here, okay? Had to get back to that part of it. Okay, now I'm going to have Al and BJ, if you would. I want to say that I've been working with them in the nominating committee process, and our eyes are open, and I'm quite I'm quite happy with the fact that we have turned over a few people that we turned them over. We've got them motivated to be more involved in the organization. And I think looking ahead, we're going to be in pretty good shape going into the new year, starting in March. I will just say this part of it before I turn it over to Al and BJ. We now have 8 members of the trustees, and 1 is going off, and that's Jim Bromley, and we will give him a good send off and semi-retirement. He's got his work cut out for him, and he needs help in the lab anyway. But as far as the future, there 4 of the 7 of us left will be completing our final term in 2023. That's if all 4 wish to continue for the next year, which means that then we have only 3 that will be continuing, as far as we know, after 23. So you can see where we are really happy to see anybody step forward, like James, a host, and others. And Carolyn has come on board, and we hope that you'll continue to stay with us. That this experience and the training, if you wish, I guess it might be, in functioning as a trustee, this is going to be another year of benefit to you, and you might even consider being nominated for one of the board positions. And we always need those. We have the president, vice president, second vice president, secretary, and treasurer. So we got 5. And think about it. You don't have to step right up, but think about the fact that we need a continuation of trustees, the board. But with that, I'm going to let you go with this, Al, and sort of give us a summarization. And then BJ, how's that? You're the chair. And I follow up the end.
Okay. So like Ed was saying, him, BJ, and myself divided up the membership, and we made phone calls and sent emails and made an attempt to contact every member and talk with them about their interest in being nominated to the Board of Trustees. So I'll condense it down, and BJ's list, James Host was a yes in interest, as we well know. And I think it's fantastic. It's so nice to see somebody jump in and want to be involved. And I'll let BJ speak to several of her contacts, but it seemed like one member, Rose, was wanted to know more information, which was really nice. Ed Evans' list showed that, or revealed that Pat Reese would be willing to step back in and be nominated to serve again as a trustee through 2040. I'm kidding, Pat. And so Pat wants to talk. Go ahead.
Pat.
Well, when I talked to Ed, it was with the stipulation that we stay on Zoom. Dennis had talked about coming back on the board, and he would be across the miles. And I know one other person had stated they would like to, I'll let that person speak for themselves, but they would like to remain on Zoom. And I'm hearing now that the group mostly wants to get back to regular meetings. And I know Lorraine has talked before about if she goes south, how would that work out? So I guess I don't want to wiggle out of this, but it's going to take a while. I know if you all decide to go back, I just didn't want to let the group down by saying I'd be part of it and then not fulfill my obligation. So I just wanted to throw that out there. And I know none of us know where this virus is going, but I'm kind of looking on down the line, and I think it's going to be a while yet, even though many of the members say they want to get together as soon as possible. And that's kind of not where I'm headed. I want to get together when it's safe. And who knows when that will be. Anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there because I wonder if I offered to continue too rapidly before, well, anyway, don't want to repeat, but just don't want to let the group down if you decide to go back to regular meetings, because then that would limit Dennis if we don't stay on Zoom, and that would limit us. Although I know from the sound of things, everybody wants to try to teach others so that we could get back on Zoom. And if we're not going to get back on Zoom, I'm questioning the need for trying to get everybody involved in Zoom. Anyway, I'm rattling on, so I'll let Al speak again. And I'm kind of hanging up there wondering whether I've done the best thing right now.
That's
James?
a good point taken. That's a very good point taken, Pat. And I personally think that what we should try to do is do a hybrid type of a meeting where we can do a Zoom along with an in-person meeting. I'm not technically savvy on how to do that, but I think if we put our heads together, we should be able to do it. I think other groups can do it, so why not we? So I just think that's something we ought to keep in our back pocket as a possibility and discuss that in detail soon. But as I continue, like my pastor once said, as I continue to close, and that's an hour later. Anyway, my list, I had one person that would agree to accept a nomination to serve on the board, and that was Mary Ann Confar. Now, Mary Ann had a caveat where she said she would not be president because she's just too involved in other things. So, and she is also has a commitment on Mondays right now that will probably change by the time the new term begins. So that's what we're hoping for. There was also one other person that I had talked to that was considering a nomination. And we're going to try to pursue that person as well. In summary, it was a good experience. Had several people say they were interested in doing more, and one person in particular said it was right up his alley, and he really planned on doing this after he retired. And then they bought a 22-acre farm, and he's been totally absorbed in that. So he said when that changes, he would love to come in and be able to do all kinds of things. And he was sincerely apologetic because he didn't realize how much time his farm was going to take. So, but it sounds from his experience, one, he'd be super qualified and his interest is there. And he said he wants to keep his interest in and is willing when he's able to do that, to do more in that line. And that's all I really have right now. BJ, I'll let you have the floor.
BJ?
Well, I can only recap what I've already said, really, and the comments I've already sent to you and Ed, because I don't know where I put my worksheet at the moment. But I could say, and I didn't even make myself a copy of the comments I sent to you and Ed. But
Could you speak up a little louder?
Pardon me?
Oh, that's better. Yeah, I needed you a little louder. Okay.
Oh, okay. But I did find out that people, I mean, I actually like calling and talking to people, and they like I said earlier, everybody listened, and we just talked, and they did tell me. Like James did, yes, he would like to be a trustee. There were those who said, well, I would have to consider because I'm doing this and I've got whatever going on right now, But I didn't get any, I only got the one definite yes, and the other definite, well, call me in 3 months because then I won't be working anymore. She's obviously working outside the house. So the others, I didn't really get a yes or no, but they did listen anyway. And so I just thought, well, this is good anyway, you know. But major though was talking to people and listening to them, and they listened to me, and it was just good. Major though, I do think is the short list of women that I spoke with last who said they need help with their computer, and one or so needed help with Zoom also. So maybe if we help them with those problems, then they will start listening in to our meetings and Zoom. And that's about all I have for now. Thanks.
I will wrap this particular portion up. Serving on this committee is a challenge, primarily because it's just like you and me getting phone calls. We get a lot of unwanted calls, and we put a lot of locks, stops on the calls, and a lot of people will just let the phone ring and not answer it. In these days, they don't want to be bothered. So that's one block right there before you even try to find a person on the other end. I found that out a lot. I had a twofold plan, and it worked to a point. But then again, I'll find out. And my plan was that I make the phone call. I either will get somebody in just a few of them, or I would leave a message on the phone. And I would also say, at this time, I'm sending you an email which gives you some information on what a trustee is required to do. And also the fact that you probably will only be committed to about 20, well, let's see, about 8 sessions a year. Each session is a general membership meeting and a trustees meeting, an hour each. That's not too much for some. And so we recommend that you consider being accepting a nomination for treasurer, for trustee for the coming year. I will follow up with some of those emails, but you can see that some people are resistant to even pick up the phone, or also are not interested in supporting the organization in that manner. We are doing the best we can, and I think that's all we can do is try. And those that are interested will come forward, and those that aren't will just be our membership. And we don't want to cut that short, because we're glad to have the membership that we have, because that's the income. And some are followers and some are doers, and we know how that works with all organizations. A few are the doers and the others follow. I have the report that BJ had to Al, and it included Rose Lay, and I'm not sure if anybody knows her, but she is considering, and I'll follow up on that one.
Looks like Dennis has something to say, Ed.
I know Rose Lay personally, and she'd be an excellent candidate.
Okay.
She used to be my neighbor.
Oh, okay. Thank you. And we have 2 people, and invariably on some of these phone calls, it involves tech support. Doug and James, or Jim and James. And the 2 people that she lists here, Irene Listville is one. Anyway, BJ, would you email those names of the people that need support with their computers to Jim Bromley? And then he can pick it up, and they can follow up and give them a call and see what they need. And maybe it can be accomplished through Doug or James on the phone. But they're reaching out for help, so there it is. We know that tech help isn't available, but they need to call, right? Just James?
Yeah, I've got TeamViewer running, so if there's anything that could be done through TeamViewer.
Yeah. Okay. So that's all that I have on the on my list as far as the agenda, and I try to keep it within 1 hour. Anybody have any items for this discussion? I've got two people. Carolyn Fraser first.
Well, there was something what Pat said that I was wondering about. Where would we be going if we were doing the in-person meetings?
Our we're open right now at Lebo. Al has already made a contract with them, and I think Larry as well. I've discussed it with them, and they said not a problem until you have a need. Don't worry about filling out an application for.
What is Lebo?
But we would go back to the facility, the Parks and Recreation on Lebo Boulevard,
Oh, okay,
near the old Harrison
okay.
Hospital there. Okay, Carol,
Question.
you have a comment, Carol, like Larry? Yeah.
I had a question for Jim Bromley. Have you turned in to me, or have you turned in all the 2021 invoices that you need reimbursement for?
No, not yet. I'll get on that for you, Carol. I just had too many other things to do.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Lorraine? I don't have your mute.
Mine goes back to Carolyn's question about Lebo. Do we even know what kind of equipment we would have to have in order to broadcast to people who could stay on Zoom, like Pat Reese, or people who are like Dennis, who is in Michigan? Do we know what equipment we need?
Doug, what do you think? Doug, do we have the equipment? Doug, do we have the equipment for a combination of Zoom and in-person type meetings?
I think
He's not answering, but James Bromley has his hand up.
Okay, Jim, go ahead.
We would need at least a minimum of one webcam with a tripod, and then we would have to stream. Then we have. Don't we have a Facebook page right now? Do we have a Facebook page? Okay. You can stream through Facebook. You can set up. I don't know the technical thing about how to do that, but I know you can stream. You can stream a live meeting through Facebook. So equipment wise, hardware wise, we would get a webcam with a tripod. And then some way of having to stream that, say, into Facebook, since we already have an existing Facebook group. I don't know. I've never done this. I don't know the particulars on how to do it. Maybe James Host could be some help on that one. And
Sure.
Yeah,
I mean, there's always the easiest option of just having a laptop at the end of a conference table as just a single participant in the meeting. And when somebody in the room is speaking, everyone else who's online sees the circle of people.
yeah. We use this at the church, and I can do a little research on that too. I didn't know whether a projector is necessary or not, but whatever. We do, Doug, I don't know if you're still on there or not, but if we have any equipment, it might be a good idea to, James, maybe you can talk with Doug on that too, and get it tentatively set up.
Could do.
Okay.
We have a laptop that belongs to KCS that's stored in there, which leads me to a question. Do we need to upgrade it? And is it upgradable? I'm not sure. So that's
I'll check with Larry.
Jim
on this,
Bromley.
too, I
Jim
think.
Bromley probably knows, and Doug Stoner probably knows.
Yeah. Okay. I'll see if you can check it out. Yeah, Carol.
Will the center's Wi-Fi support this program? Because I know we've had trouble with it. They have filters on it.
Yes, the
That's something
Wi-Fi,
we should
yes,
check out.
The Wi-Fi at Sheridan Park will support this.
Oh, well, okay, good.
Thank you.
But we have no idea when they're opening.
Yes, they're open now.
They're open now. Whenever we need it, I'll go ahead and sign up the application and we'll go. So we'll just have to play it by ear.
Pat Reese.
Yeah. Okay. Pat.
I want to speak up for BJ. She had her hand up quite some time ago. And I don't know if you don't see her ad or how that works, but BJ.
Well,
BJ,
bad.
I'm sorry. I try to look at this over. Put your hand up in the screen like I'm doing right here. Go ahead,
Well,
BJ.
this is not very important anyway, because I'm sure it will be done because it's just done these days. So if we do have a person meeting, that means we'll meet with mask and 6 feet distance apart at the tables then, right?
Yes, social distancing
Okay, it's just that
will
small
be
thing.
applied at Sheridan Park.
Thank you.
And it
Yeah,
would be
yeah.
wise for us to encourage it.
Okay.
Yeah, they did say that they needed the distance and as well as a mask. And when we do get that application in.
Okay.
I had Lee Peterson has been on here. Stepped out. I was going to get an input from him. I have 2 other things I'm going to touch here and we'll be gone in about 5 minutes, or if you have anything else you wish to discuss. I'll be working with Mary Ann on our link again, the invitation to join the meeting. And thanks again to Carol for helping get that done.
Yeah, Carol was great.
We had some stuff again.
Thanks to Mary Ann.
And yeah, and Mary Ann will be giving us another shot at that, because I had it all worked out back in November. And what came out on the newsletter was right, but somehow it got deleted in the process where I went in and scheduled, but it wasn't in the schedule when I went and checked it out. Things happen. Okay. I will be registering us again for the Great Give. I've been given that information. Let's see. If you have anybody that's interested in being nominated for trustee, let us know. Al, DJ, or myself. Any comments from anybody at this point? James, I'll be talking to you about a possibility of maybe April presentation. I'm looking at April right now. So think about that and email me. It'll be the 3rd Monday in April. If that would work for you, you would offer maybe May. I'm looking at maybe Mary Ann might be able to pick up the one in May. I will be gone in May.
Thinking about what I'm going to present.
Yeah, so keep that in mind, okay?
Okay.
Yes, Al, go ahead.
I think Ed, you, BJ, and I should get our heads together and talk about how to proceed with the people that have more interest in the nominating committee. So we can do that after the meeting.
After this meeting, yeah, if the two
Yeah.
of you, yeah, you folks stay with me and we'll discuss that, you bet. Yeah. Dennis, glad to be on board here today. He's there. Thanks for all your help, everybody.
Ed?
Thank you, Dennis, up there in the cold country.
Hey, Ed, could
And
you
we
send me
appreciate that.
Mary Ann's address as well, along with the trustees?
I thank you very much. From a distance, it's great. And we like to have your help. You bet.
I'll
With this,
try.
we'll wrap it up, and Al and BJ and I will be talking about the nominating process going forward. And comment to everybody is that we're recording right now, but we're going to terminate the recording for those that are co-hosts. And we'll see you next month. The budget committee is going to be meeting, and that's Larry. We'll be contacting those who will be involved. And he should be doing that soon, or Carol, you might check it out, see what his plan is, okay? And that'll.
Good meeting. Thank you, Ed.
Be presented at the next meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
All
Thank
right,
you.
have a good one. Take care.
Bye all.
Bye.